The regional director said health for all by all, and this means partnership. And we're pleased to have with us Ernest Massiah, who is the practice manager at the World Bank. Welcome.
Thank you.
Our region is filled with disasters and stricken with conflict. How do you see the World Bank coming in?
Well, we've actually come in working with WHO and UNICEF under something we call the DARES partnership, which has allowed us to see how we can work collaboratively, particularly in Yemen. And that's working at three levels. One, in terms of the analytical work that we need to do, the knowledge products we need to develop.
To know where we are.
To know where we are. But then really on the ground in terms of operations, how do we actually then share our comparative strengths? And we've been doing that in Yemen, we've been doing it in Djibouti, we've been doing it in Libya. And that's actually become a very important springboard for us, for all of us, all three agencies, to think through what do we need to do in conflict situations, how do we deal with migrants, with refugees, internally displaced populations.
So what would be the lessons learned from this experience?
I think one of the lessons learned is in terms of preparedness. How do we actually predict and see into the future what is likely to happen? How do we start looking at different models for service delivery? And how do we actually, in looking at service delivery, particularly think of the continuity of care and the quality of care when you've got populations that are on the move, where you've got populations that are displaced, where you've got new issues that are coming in, mental health?
Usually when there is conflict and there are different factions there, how do you negotiate? I mean, is it accepted once you come into a country, whoever the faction is, if it's for the good of the people, do people listen?
Well, I think it depends on the country. As you mentioned, factions. There may be a country and there may be 2 or 3 or 4 factions. And the question then is, how do we look at the political economy in that situation and see who do you get to, who do you intervene with? But there's something about communicable diseases that's interesting. Everyone understands that if I have a case of polio and we don't treat it, you're likely to get that too. So finding that common ground is important, and looking at the governance structures that are in place to see how do we work with them.
We know in some areas that they actually stopped the conflict for a while to immunize people in certain areas. So it's
because people understand the importance of health in those conflicts, and what do you need to do to protect everyone.
Ernest Massiah, we hope this partnership continues because we need it. It needs to thrive, to extend to other countries, and we can all hope for the best. Just to say, health for all, by all.
Thank you.
Bye.